if you've got a dog, then you've probably heard the name Kong. But I can almost guarantee you really don't know the whole Kong story. And I found the man who can tell me all about it. Mike Cusack, hi.
Hi, Kate, how are you?
Very well indeed. Now, I was very surprised. We had a chat before and you said, you know, it had a very interesting beginning, the good old Kong.
It's got a great story attached to it. And so it was in 1976, so 38 years ago now. And all came about from trying to find a solution to a problem. Joe Markham was a guy with a small motor mechanic business, and he and his wife Pat were having enormous problems with break-ins. And they got to know the police, and so the police said, "Look, we can't be here 24 hours a day," and said, "You have to going to need to put a dog in there." So they had a police dog named Fritz, who had just completed his working life, was a brilliant dog, and they were looking for a good home for him. So the dialogue finished up with Fritz going into the business. Not one more robbery, but Fritz had one little problem. And that problem was that he chewed bricks and rocks.
Ow.
So you can imagine what his canines were like. And Joe's interest went from trying to solve a robbery issue to solving Fritz's chewing problem.
And how did you do that?
Well, he looked for a multitude of things and tried everything, and being a motor mechanic, radiator hoses and everything. And one Saturday afternoon, lying under his own VW van in his front driveway, took off a suspension mount, the old one, to replace it with a new one, and threw this rubber suspension mount out onto the front lawn.
Right.
And Fritz picked it up and chewed it and threw it up, and Joe got out from under the car. And Fritz went and picked it up and came over and dropped it on his foot.
Voila, the first Kong.
The idea, and it all evolved from there, back in 1976.
Wow, and it's come a long way since then. We'll talk about how the name actually came about another time, because we don't have time for the entire series. But tell me a little bit about some of the newer things that Kong's got now.
Well, it's evolved very much from that original toy, and it's always been about that solution right from the start. So we're moving now into a lot more of treat and food dispensing products. What you see behind us here, the Quest range and the Genius range, all with a design around stimulating the mind of the dog while they're eating. The Wobbler, for instance, Wobbler came out now. This product's about 3 years old. Just screw the top off and fill it up with food, and the dog's actually got to roll it around to get the food out. So
I think my neighbour around the corner could do with one of those. They've got one of those dogs, you know, the kind that goes woof, woof, woof.
Perfect for them. So, you can elongate the time a dog will take to eat his food.
Okay.
Out of this just by putting a little bit of paper in it and building that up. It takes much more time. It becomes like a bit of a maze. This was a fantastic product. I've got a Kisson, Dutch barge dog.
Yes.
And he's a gulper, or was a gulper. Terrible. He used to get gastric distress. Gosh. And so I brought the Wobbler home, and he learnt to get his food out of the Wobbler. And he now is now what I call a cultured eater. So he eats one piece of kibble at a time. And I do this at home in the kitchen. I can put his food in the Wobbler on the kitchen floor, and I can put a bowl of food next to the Wobbler, and he will go and take the Wobbler. He'll leave the bowl of food alone. It just stimulates the mind. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, it's obviously an evolving brand, and there's always just that little bit more to learn about Kong. We'll save it for the next time, how Kong name came about. Thank you very much indeed, Mike.
Okay, thanks, Kate.